Waylay is completely broken at this moment. Apparently, if you combine Waylay with Deadlock, she can get to extremely unusual spots. Like over here on Split or into this corner on Pearl. I know, pretty crazy angles, right? And I'll show you how to do these lineups later this video. But first, welcome to another episode of the Valorant Tips and Tricks Sent by You series. A series where I show tons of Valorant tips and tricks that you guys send to me. And like each episode, I'm giving away a battle pass to a random submission. And this week's winner is Leuker2. Congrats, my friend. If you have any cool tricks and you want the chance to win the battle pass, don't forget to submit them in the Lowlander Discord server. And now let's go to Ascent to showcase the first trick. A while ago, Ascent got a big update because Riot Games decided to place some metal plates in front of B main so that you couldn't wallbang through it anymore. I know, sad story, especially for all the sofa mains, but no worries, there's a way to work around it. Here's what you gotta do. When you play Sage, let the teammate boost you on top of these barrels. At first, this might seem impossible, but if you give it a try, you actually find out that it's very easy. Then, when you get on top of the boxes, place your wall vertical in the wall like this, and look at that, you can wallbang over the metal plates. Maybe this wallbang spot is even better than before the update, because now enemies don't expect it. And a big tip, try to combine it with the sofa arrow anyway. Next trick, take a look at this one. What? Can you do a jet super boost on rafters? I didn't know that was possible. Though, after trying it myself, I came to the conclusion that this super boost is actually a 1 in a million moment. I think I tried for like 10 to 15 minutes, but I couldn't get one off. So even though we know it is possible, like we've seen in the clip, I wouldn't count on this happening for you. A tricky that's a little more consistent are these Phoenix mollies. The only thing you need to do is stand on the left of the barrier over there, then aim at the right side of the arch, and when you think the enemies are close, throw your molly and use your flash into main. The idea, of course, is that the enemies will walk into your molly blinded, and Tekri shows you how effective this trick is.
There's something in there. Oh man.
Ja, das was.
He didn't even see an enemy over here to get a kill. Well played, my friend. And we're not done here. Since it's such an effective trick, here's another one. Now all you gotta do is stand against this wall on Split, aim a little above the corner of the wall. This doesn't have to be perfect. And then when the barriers are going down, throw your molly and use your flash on the left. That's very nice. Let's move on now. A few episodes ago I showed that the Deadlock RefNet could actually slow the Tahoe missiles. In my opinion, this is one of the weirdest Valorant interactions, but it even gets a little weirder because apparently the Waylay ultimate can also slow the Tahoe missiles. It doesn't matter if Waylay is on your team or on the enemy team. If Waylay is using her ultimate, for example, and the Tahoe missiles are inside the ulti, they will get slowed. Cool mechanic, MrLowlander, but this is completely useless, right? Well, my friends, Vessel actually survived because of the slow. Look at this clip.
I'm in slow motion! I'm missile!
Okay, never mind, I lied. He didn't survive because of the slow. However, I think that he got the kill on Waylay because of the slow. Because if Vessel died 1 second earlier, he didn't have time for the kill, I think. Right? I think at least. I just want to believe that it's not that useless, but it's probably a very useless mechanic. And about useless mechanics, did you know that this was possible? With Waylay, if you hop into a custom game, use your refract, and after that use Ghost while you are in the animation, you will actually get an insane amount of speed. Just take a look at the background. I'm not flying over there, I'm just running through the map with an insane amount of speed. Even faster than Neon is running with her E ability. And maybe if you want to create some mini games in a custom game, this might be a very useful mechanic for you. Or alternatively, if you use the same trick, you'll also fly faster in ghost mode than you normally would. A perfect mechanic for when you want to explore the outer edges of the map. I wish I knew this before I went to the top of Abyss. Okay, back to some real tricks again now. On Lotus, a thing that Omen can do is place a smoke on these boxes. After that, they usually flash and then teleport. This is a common trick. However, something that I personally didn't know is that Omen can actually teleport from the boxes to behind those boxes over there. I think the reason that some people don't know about this is because from the smoke you don't know where you're teleporting to, you know, and then you need to blindly teleport. So you need to know that this is possible before you use this trick, but now that you know, you can get some nice kills with it like Dreamos did.
C'est.
Oh putain gros.
Also, Dreamos, a small tippy for you personally. If you get behind enemies and enemies don't see you, I always try shooting on the enemies furthest away first, because those headshots are a little harder to land, you know. So first go for the harder shots and then the easy shots. But still, well played, my friend. Sneaky tricky. Hi Bobber, what did you say? Oh, she wants you guys to subscribe. She will be very happy if you do that. Did you know that the Yoru teleport cannot go through sewers on Pearl? When you try to cast your gate crash towards the gap, it simply bounces off the gap even though the gate crash is small enough to go through it. Why is this the case? If you really think about it, it's probably so that Yoru cannot teleport in the gap, otherwise he will teleport crouched. So it kinda makes sense, but still something to keep in mind if you want to go for lineups. You can cast your gate crash from one side to the other side though. Next tricky, this one is gonna be an It's Genius clip, so we know that this one is gonna be crazy. Just sit back, look at the clip, and I'll talk about it afterwards.
3 out of 5. One enemy remaining.
The
Last
thing,
player standing.
break it. You're gonna get stunned. Yeah.
Oi, 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 it's Genius, dude. No way that you can pull this off.
He's gonna touch you. Never mind, he's stupid. Oh my.
You know the thing, the line between stupid and extremely smart is very thin. And this is one of those clips where I'm not sure if it's like the smartest thing I've ever seen or the luckiest thing I've ever seen. Though we can all agree that this clip is insane. Purposely not shooting on the Killjoy ultimate just to sneak around the enemy and kill Reyna from behind. Like always, well played It's Genius, your clips are so insane. And we're not done with It's Genius, here's another tippy of him. This one I would recommend a little more than the last trick, and it goes like this. Every gun in the game has a different length, right? The Stinger is for example the smallest rifle, while the Marshall and the Operator are the biggest. So here's what you can do. With the big guns, like a Marshall, you can easily go for the fake peek like this, without that the enemies are able to shoot on you. But if they do shoot, then you have a small window to peek after it immediately and get a kill like that, like in this round.
One enemy remaining.
Everything to get inside the head of the enemies. And while we're talking about the length of the guns, if you're one of those sneaky Sage players that wants to chill behind the wall, you need to know that your gun is poking out if you're sitting like this. Instead, what you could do is look down and then your gun isn't sticking out. Our friend It's Genius made a cool drawing about it. But in the background you can also see it in game. You see the difference, right? By the way, sitting behind your wall like this is a very risky play, so I wouldn't do it with a Vandal, but could be useful in eco rounds for example, as long as you don't do something like this. Okay, enough with the tricks now. Let's take a small break from them to show you some trick shots. My favorite part of the video. What did our viewers do this time? First, we got some blind kills.
No way! What?
Very lucky shots, my friend, but not as lucky as this sheriff shot.
101, nice.
Yup, he actually killed someone behind the wall. Didn't even know that was wallbangable with the sheriff. After that, a very quick flick shot.
What is that?
Good.
Not sure why Cheese Apprentice was aiming over there though. And then we have another very lucky no-scope.
Guys.
No scope.
Hi.
Back to the tricks now. Take a look at the clip that Vegetto sent it in. It took me a while to realize what's exactly happening in this clip, but apparently Neon can cancel her dash animation and just instantly dash if she uses an ability very quickly. It looks extremely dope and is actually very useful in game, but here's the problem with this combo. It's so extremely hard to pull off. I tried in a custom game for so long, but I couldn't manage to do it. Maybe it's a skill issue at my part or I'm just doing something wrong, but for the Neon mains that wants to learn this, here's a breakdown on how to do it. Or try to copy the mouse and keyboard presses. And here's the combo during a match.
Exactly where.
And this mechanic, by the way, is not the only mechanic that I couldn't figure out myself, because last week someone submitted in this clip over here.
What?
Spike carrier killed. One enemy remaining.
Wait, what?
What? Apparently it's back. Jet can get off the zipline if she gets blocked. This is a glitch that was in the game a very long time ago, then it got removed, but now it's back again. However, I personally couldn't do it. Maybe it's a skill issue again. Let me know in the comments down below if you ever used this one. Are you too lazy to learn hard mechanics? No worries. You don't need to learn those insane mechanics to win rounds. Just take a look at this clip of player Indo 10. Sometimes all you need is a big brain wall.
One enemy remaining. Oh my god. Valiant effort.
Gotta love the thumbs up. This is a very strong wall to block both sides, in front of you and behind you. Nice way to counter this spike plant over here. Let's move on now. My friends, I think it's about time. Let's rewind a little bit. You remember the Waylay deadlock combo I showed at the start? If you've watched the video all the way to this point, I think you deserve to learn those lineups. Let's start on split. Go to this line over here, then find the corner of the shadow, aim a little bit to the right of that corner, and throw your barrier. When you do this, you need to destroy this part of the barrier, and Waylay can jump right into it. The one on split is a lot easier. What you gotta do is line yourself up with this box, then aim at the top of the second line over there, and throw your barrier. Easy peasy sneaky angle for Waylay. However, there are two big downsides of these spots. The first one is that Waylay won't be accurate when shooting, and the second one is that these two spots are obviously bugs, so you're not really allowed to use them because they might be bug abuse. But hey, still cool spots to troll with your friends, I guess. And this is the end of the episode. Big shout out to everyone who submitted in a trick. I hope you learned something new, and I see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.